Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is ReNDoG coming at you from just outside the Ferru harvester in this Let's Play Minecraft Feed the Beast series. In the previous episode, we were trying to use autarkic gates to create an automatic feeding system for our cropmatron of the Ferru harvester, and in this episode, my friends, we are going to be using a computer terminal to automatically control the cycle of the Ferru harvester. And let me tell you something, cyberdiggity dogs, it is going to be freaking sweet. Let's feed the beast. That is our mind. Guys, I am so excited about today's episode because for the past few days, I've been trying to find a way to automate the cycles of our Ferru harvester. If we just have a recap, basically what we're doing with this Ferru harvester over here is moving these lines of Ferru crops past these crop harvesters, and these crop harvesters are then harvesting the tiny piles of iron dust from the Ferru crops, and then we're going to be turning those tiny piles of iron dust into iron dust to be smelted in the metalworks factory. And if we click the buttons on these frame motors, this is how we move this entire platform. And what we were trying to do in the previous episode was install a cropmatron so that these Ferru plants always have fertilizer and hydration cells. But the problem that we ran into was that when we moved the entire framework of the Ferru harvester, items would pour out of the autarkic gates because the crop harvester would move out of position, and then this wooden transport pipe would be in the open. And because it was in the open, the autarkic gate was recognizing it as an empty inventory space and thus spitting out items from the wooden gates. So the solution to this problem came to me in my sleep, and it's actually a really simple solution. All I've done is I've stopped the cropmatron from moving. So basically I've installed some covers into the tops of these support frames over here. So now the cropmatron and its feeding system are static, and that means that these barrels can keep a consistent supply of fertilizer and hydration cells into the butthole of this cropmatron on the Ferru harvester. And as you can see, when we move the framework, the cropmatron stays put, and everything is freaking sweet. So solved that problem quite easily. I was quite worried about that one, but it ended up being quite a simple solution. And now all we're going to do in this episode is connect these barrels to the sorting system so that fertilizer and hydration cells being produced in the cyber labs can head outside here to the Ferru crop harvester. So that's one of the tasks that we're going to be doing in today's episode. But the most exciting thing that we're going to be doing today, guys, is using this little bad boy over here. And this is a computer terminal. And basically, before I get into the details of this, I'm going to try to explain to you exactly what I've been trying to make this computer terminal do. So basically, computer terminals can output redstone signals from their sides, right? So if you want a computer terminal to output a redstone signal from the top of it, you can program it to do so. So what I wanted to happen was for the terminal to produce 10 redstone signals on its right-hand side over here, so thus triggering this frame motor 10 times, and then producing 10 redstone signals on its left-hand side so that this frame motor would then trigger 10 times, and for then that entire cycle to repeat. So basically this frame motor would trigger 10 times and then stop triggering, and then this frame motor would trigger 10 times, and then just go do that in a repeated cycle. So basically the crop harvester would move 10 blocks in this direction every single time, moving past the crop harvester and giving the crop harvester time to harvest the Ferru, and then moving 10 blocks in this direction back to its original position, and rinse and repeat. So that is what I've been trying to figure out. And I was on Dogcraft.net the other day in chat, and I was asking the guys in chat, how in the jazz does anyone have any idea how to actually do that? And one of the admins of Dogcraft.net, Mattigans, the legend, said, "ReNdiggity dog, I know how to program that," and he wrote me a very awesome and very elegant program to use in this computer that actually freaking works, man. I spent the last 2 days trying to make the code actually work, and it works, and it is beautiful. So thank you so much, Mattigans. You are a freaking legend, my friend. You are one smart ass Cyberdog, dude. I don't know how you wrote that code just based on what I was asking you to do because literally I explained what I just explained to you guys in chat on Dogcraft.net. So I don't know how your amazing brain managed to decipher what I was saying, Mattigans, but good job, man. And basically what I've done is I have added the program to this computer terminal. And remember guys, to make a computer terminal, it's really easy. We had to make one for the turtle that's at the top of the ReNStar platform at the moment. And if we have a look here at the computer recipe, all it is literally just stone, a bit of redstone and some glass and a glass pane. And that makes a computer terminal. And just like the turtle, it has a sort of DOS system, right? So if we look at the directory of this computer terminal, we will see that there is a program in there called Ferru. And if we edit the program Ferru, this brings up the code that Matigans wrote for me. And if you guys want to make a Ferru harvester for yourself, I would suggest just pausing the video here and print screening, and then you can get the code for the computer terminal from your print screen. But this is what the code looks like over here, guys. It goes down a little bit further to the bottom. And I don't understand code at all, and I'm sure that most of you guys don't understand code at all. But if we just spend a few minutes, I know this looks like really complicated and really crazy, right? Most of our brains just say, no, I don't want to look at this. But just cast your eyes just for a few seconds at this while true do line over here, because this is essentially what the computer terminal is doing. So here you can see it says while true do I equals 0, while I is less than length, do move left, I equals I plus 1, sleep 10. Okay, so that probably didn't make any sense to you guys at all, but basically what I want you to realize from this code is that what we are basically telling the computer terminal to do is move left, i.e. Do a signal to the left-hand side of the computer terminal, and then sleep for 10 seconds. So we've got sleep and then 10 as the number next to sleep, and sleep is gonna make the computer terminal shut down for 10 seconds before it repeats itself. And when I runs out, it's going to do exactly the same thing, but this time it's going to send a signal to the right-hand side of the computer terminal, and then in between each signal, it's going to sleep for 10 seconds. So essentially, what this code is doing is the following, and this is the genius of Matigans's code. The terminal is going to output a redstone signal to this frame motor and then pause for 10 seconds. Those 10 seconds are going to give the crop harvester enough time to harvest the tiny pile of iron dust from the Ferru crop. Then the terminal is going to trigger this frame motor again, and then it's going to be another pause for 10 seconds. It's going to repeat that process for the number of times that we specify, and that number is going to be determined by how many lines are in the crop harvester row. So at the moment we've got nine columns of crop harvesting in this contraption. So when we actually activate the program, we're going to literally be typing in Ferru and then 9, and that's going to activate the Ferru program. And that 9 is going to be, I think that 9 is probably the I in the code, I think. And basically that 9 is telling the terminal to do 9 signals to this side and then 9 signals to this side. So if we made this 20 blocks long, we would type in Ferru 20, and then the terminal would do 20 to this frame motor, 20 signals to this frame motor, and then 20 signals to that frame motor. Whew, man, that is some complicated jazz, but at the same time, a beautiful and elegant bit of code by Matigans. Really good work there, man. And thank you so much for taking time out of your life to work that out for me. And you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to put that code on dogcraft.net in a thread on dogcraft.net, so you guys can go and get that code if you want. But guys, the sun is about to go down, so I'm going to have a sleep, and then we're going to head back to the Ferru harvester to begin the actual automation of that beautiful contraption. See you in a moment, guys. Oh man, this is so freaking exciting. I am so excited to try and fire this freaking bad boy up, man. But guys, before we can actually run the auto Ferru harvesting program in the computer, there are a few conditions that we need to meet. Of course, that program is set in stone, right? It doesn't change itself according to what configuration the Ferru harvester is in. So when we start the program, the Ferru harvester has to be in the correct position. And on top of that, there are a few other conditions. The most important condition is that these frame motors always require bluetricity power, or what's going to happen is, if, for example, the sun goes down and these solar panels stop producing electricity, this terminal is going to try send signals into the frame motor. The frame motor is going to fail to trigger because it doesn't have any bluetricity, and that's going to throw the entire program out of sync, and basically the whole thing is going to shut down. So we need to ensure that, number one, the Ferru harvester harvester itself is in the correct position before we start the program, and that correct position is this position over here. This is position number 1 right here, guys. So this position is set so that the very first Ferru crop of the line looks like that, right? So we need to move the frame all the way to this side, all the way to the right, until the last bit of Ferru is in line with the crop harvesters. So that's condition number 1. Condition number 2 is that these frame motors require a constant supply of bluetricity. Now, to solve that particular problem, we need to head into the machine room, and we need to create something called a battery box. And we've already seen bat boxes before, but this is a battery box that comes from the bluetricity mod of Feed the Beast, and this is a different type of, this is a battery box that stores bluetricity, which is, as we know, a different type of electricity in Feed the Beast. So we need to make a couple of battery boxes. Fortunately, they're very, very cheap to make. Just iron, blue alloy ingots, which we already have from my alloy furnaces, and a few BT batteries, which I've already made. So really, really simple to make, and BT batteries are just nickelite, copper, tin, and copper. So really, really basic recipes. So let's make for ourselves a few of these battery boxes, and that's going to allow those frame motors to have a consistent supply of energy even when the freaking sun goes down, man. So let's get a bit of iron up in there, and then we need a couple of oak wood planks at the top, and that's going to make for us a couple of battery boxes. Awesome. So we can get these bad boys installed, and while the sun is up, these are going to charge up quite nicely, and so when the sun goes down, the Ferru harvester is going to be able to run without stopping. So I think let's install the battery boxes in these positions over here, because we don't want to cover the top of the frame motors, because that's when, you know, these lights over here indicate whether these frame motors are receiving the correct power. So we definitely want to be able to see that, and we also need to keep the buttons in place in case we need to reset the crop harvester. Now, one of the problems that we have with this system is that when we actually quit Feed the Beast, so when we leave the game, the program in the computer terminal is going to stop running. Obviously, that program doesn't just continue to run. So when we close Feed the Beast or close Minecraft, the computer will shut down. So every single time we start Feed the Beast, we need to head over to the Ferru harvester, get it in position 1, which is the position that you see now, and then start the program in the computer terminal. And I'm not sure if there's any other way to do that. I don't think you can get terminals to start automatically, unfortunately. Let's have a look at what's going on in these battery boxes over here. We can see that, okay, sweet. So it looks like this big battery on the right-hand side is the stored power, and this on the left-hand side is the surge of power that's coming from the solar panels. So these battery boxes are now storing power, which is awesome. And oh, that's awesome. So you can see the power being stored up on this sort of meter over here on the sides of them. Oh, that's really, really cool. Okay, awesome. So our two conditions are now met. The Ferru harvester is in position 1, and the frame motors have a consistent supply of bluetricity. We are now ready to start the program in the computer terminal, the program written by Mattigans, and the program is called Ferru, and we're going to ask Ferru to run for 9 blocks left and then 9 blocks right, and rinse and repeat. And this is it, guys. Please freaking work. Compliant. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the very first signal has been sent to this frame motor, and now the program is sleeping for 10 seconds. You can see the computer terminal is actually off. Well, I think that means it's on. I don't know, it's got a little green light over there, but we should see, if it's working correctly, this frame, the whole thing, there we go, it moved again. Okay, awesome. And look, it's giving it enough time, it's giving the crop harvester enough time to actually suck some power out of here, but it doesn't look like this crop harvester is working correctly. No, that crop harvester is definitely not working correctly. Let's just get it working. Face this LV transformer needs to face the correct direction. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So 10 seconds is probably a little bit too long. The crop harvester seems to suck the tiny pile of iron dust. It seems to harvest the Ferru crop right away. But you know what? We don't need the crop harvester to be moving at breakneck speed. After all, we need to give the Ferru a little bit of time to regrow also. But this is absolutely awesome. There we go. So every 10 seconds, it's moving to the right. And of course, the true test is once it gets to the last row of the crop harvester over here. So once it gets to this row, is it then going to turn back and go back in this direction? So we can only hope and pray that that's going to happen, guys. And ooh, a few bits of tiny piles of iron dust just popped out of there. Okay, no idea why that happened. We're going to have to try and figure that out. We'll just stick that back in this relay over here. Okay, so wheat, guys, that is awesome. Now all we need to do is actually just wait for this crop harvester to go all the way to the left, and to see if the program is then going to send it all the way back to the right again. If we touch the buttons of the frame motors now, we'll throw the whole thing out of sync. So we've just got to keep our grubby paws off anything now. We just got to let this bad boy run as hard as it can. And this is just so awesome, man. I'm just loving how this thing has come together. And by the way, guys, the way that I've connected up the barrels to the sorting system is via pneumatic tubes. And also, there's a little bit of a problem when the crop harvester runs out of a hydration cell. It actually sends way too many new hydration cells from this barrel. The autarkic gate just like pumps hydration cells into the Cropmatron. So what I did was I connected a golden transport pipe as an overflow, and that goes into a relay which can then convert back into a pneumatic pipe to send the excess hydration cells back into the barrel. And just to show you what I mean, I'm going to take a hydration cell out of here, and you'll see that this autarkic gate's going to send many hydration cells into the Cropmatron. All right, so we've got to the end now, guys. So now, hopefully, it's going to turn back. It turned back. Oh, man. That is so awesome. The program works. Oh, that is epic wins. That is all kinds of epic wins, man. That is so awesome. I'm just so freaking stoked that we have got this crop harvester to this position right here, guys. What started off as just an idea in my brain is now flourishing into a beautiful, beautiful build. And I am so proud of this, man, because you know what? It's not just me who's been working on this thing. You guys have been working on it also. Lots and lots of ideas have come from you guys, like the autarkic gates came from you guys. The code for the computer came from Matigan's. What else? The solar power, the solar panels for the Cropmatron came from you guys. The relays came from you guys. Everything came from you guys, basically. And it is just awesome. I'm so proud. I am so very proud of this project, guys. But it ain't over yet, man. We still have a lot of work to do to get this harvester up and running. So I think the next thing, while this thing is just ticking away now, what we need to do, considering our harvester is now up and running, we need to make sure that this Cropmatron gets a constant supply of fertilizer and hydration cells. So we need to plug these barrels into the sorting system. I've got a pneumatic pipe running from the top of those barrels, and they're going to run all the way down here, separating them from this pneumatic pipe, because of course this pneumatic pipe is a different system. This is the pipe that actually controls the flow of tiny piles of iron dust, and we don't want that anywhere near our sorting system. This is just going to come like this, and let's just run a line all the way and join up with the pneumatic pipe that actually is supplying like dusts to the metalworks factory, right? That's going to be the closest point that we can connect to. So let's just run this line all the way here. I've already dug the tunnel for it, and it's just going to come up like this, and there is the pipe that is supplying materials for the metalworks factory. So this is going to be absolutely perfect. Now any fertilizer and any hydration cells that are produced in the cyber labs are going to come directly to the crop harvester outside. I've removed the fertilizer and the hydration cells from the bioresearch facility barrels. So this is the only location that fertilizer and hydration cells can now come. So that is awesome. All right, so that task is now complete. The final task that we need to do for today, guys, is to automate the production of tiny piles of iron dust into normal piles of iron dust. As you can see, we've already got a pretty decent amount of tiny piles of iron dust here. We've got 43 already. That's not bad. Now, there's something that is a little bit weird that I need to tell you guys, or that I need to show you guys. And we're going to need to come into the metalworks factory for me to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, you guys can see that I've created another line of a barrel and an electric furnace over here in the metalworks factory. And that is because, and this is very weird, but when you create a pile of iron dust out of 2 bits of tiny small piles of iron dust, it creates a different type of iron dust than the normal iron dust. So you can see that this iron dust has a numeric value of 30255, and if we look at the numeric value of our normal iron dust, let's just get one of those out. You can see that this iron dust has a numeric value of 21257,241. So we actually produce a different type of iron dust out of the Ferru harvester, which means we need a different barrel to store this iron dust in. So we're going to be storing this iron dust, which is the 30255 dust coming from the Ferru harvester, in a different barrel. However, when this Ferru dust gets smelted down in the electric furnace, it's then converted into a normal iron ingot, and that can then be sent straight into the compressor to join the rest of the iron ingots coming out of the normal production line of iron. So it's a little bit weird, and I'm not entirely sure why the small piles of iron dust create a different type of iron pile of iron dust, but as you can see, the iron ingot it's just a normal iron ingot. It doesn't actually make a different iron ingot. So a little bit of a quirk in the system, but that's all good. It's easily solved by just adding a second electrical furnace to the metalworks factory. All right, guys, so what we're going to be doing next is automating the production of iron dust from those small piles of iron dust. I'm just going to take a sleep quick. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Geez, guys, this has been a pretty technical episode, hasn't it? I feel like this has been like one of the most technical episodes that we've done in a while. And man, there are 3 creepers up in my business right now, man. 3. I mean, is this necessary, bro? Oh, you. Oh, come on. Was that necessary? Honestly, creeper, was that serious? Oh man. I hate creepers so much. Just please step away from the very sensitive equipment. Oh my goodness gracious. Freaking creepers, man. Oh god, I hate them so much. I mean, I hate creepers more than I don't think there's anything on this earth that I hate more than I hate creepers. I know that they're just green things in a freaking computer program, but seriously, man. They are messing up my freaking day. Where have they gone? Alright, he seems to be running away. If he went into the... Oh my goodness, that creeper might have gone into the cyber labs, man. That'd make me sick. Look at him in the sensitive equipment. You do not go near the Ferru harvester. Do not... Why are you here? Why? Oh my goodness. Alright, there we go. Alright, Creeper Scourge has been neutralized. Whew. Alright, we can get back to the serious business of automating the production of iron dust. Oh my goodness, guys, creepers make me sick, man. Alright, anyway, so what we need to do, guys, in this position over here is install an auto crafting table. And I've got one already made over here. And we're just going to stick it in this position over here. Oh my goodness, still thinking about those freaking creepers, man. Alright, there we go, guys. So we're going to install this auto crafting table in this location over here. And we're going to take those small piles of iron dust that we got from the chest and stick them in here. And that is going to be the recipe, right? To create iron dust. So 2 small piles of iron dust makes 1 pile of iron dust. Now we need to get this iron dust out of the auto crafting table and into a pneumatic pipe system so that it can join this pneumatic pipe over here to be sent into the metalworks factory. So we're going to be using a relay. I love these relays, man. They are such awesome machines. And we're going to be sending the piles of iron dust straight into a pneumatic pipe system. So this is going to be really, really easy to do, right? So I think this is going to work just like this. So, do we have enough pneumatic pipes to connect this jazz up? I think so. Right, let's run the final line of pneumatic pipage to connect the auto crafting table to the metalworks factory. Here we go. Sweet. Okay, so when we stick the recipe into the auto crafting table, I'm pretty sure that this relay is just going to automatically suck the items out of it. Let's have a look. So, let's get our small piles of iron dust in there. And is that working? That does not seem to be working. I think what we probably need to do is install... Okay, you know what we can do, man? I got the solution over here. Let's install the chest over here. No, not over here. Yes, over here. And then we'll install a wooden transport pipe if we have one. No wooden transport pipe. Jazz. Well, Cyberdogs, it's official. This episode has literally fried my freaking brain. Apologies for all of that derping. Basically, all I needed to do was attach a relay to a wooden transport pipe coming out of the auto crafting table. There's no need for in between chests or any of that jazz. All we need is a redstone engine to suck items out of the auto crafting table straight into a relay, and the relay is then going to send this iron dust into the metalworks factory. So I've stuck one of these bits of iron dust into that barrel in the metalworks factory, and I'm going to stick these 19 into it, and there you can see the iron dust is being delivered into the metalworks factory right now. So, the final task for today's episode has been achieved. Tiny or small piles of iron dust coming out of the Ferru harvester are now being automatically crafted into piles of iron dust, then relayed straight into the metalworks factory, into that chest over there, to be turned into iron ingots and turned into freaking blocks of iron for the construction of the ReNDoG space platform. Ooh, doggy! That is pretty freaking insane, man. I am so happy right now, guys. I am loving Feed the Beast so much. I am loving this build so much. I am so happy with how it's turned out. And look, guys, these battery boxes are completely full, powered up, and the machine is still going. The Cropmatron is getting all of the jazz that it needs to keep full. Our Ferru crops are growing nicely. Now all that remains is for me to get the best Ferru crops planted into the contraption as possible, and that means doing a little bit more cropnalizing in the bio-research facility, and we basically want to get crops in this machine that have the highest gain possible, so that they will create as many small piles of iron dust as is freaking possible, man. Oh, I am so stoked right now, guys. But my brain is 100% fried, so I'm going to end the episode here, guys. Remember, if you want to get hold of Matigins's Ferru Harvester code, link in the description box below. It'll be on dogcraft.net. And thank you so much for watching this episode, guys. And as always, thanks to everybody who has been following this project and helping me out with this project with all your awesome ideas in the comment sections and on Dogcraft. Keep them coming, guys. We are going to, oh man, you know, we are getting closer and closer to being able to produce enough material to create the ReNDoG, and it is awesome. Anyway, guys, this has been ReNDoG playing Minecraft Feed the Beast. Cannot wait to see you in the next video, my friends. Goodbye.